Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this Doctor Mastery of the Book of Mormon. Again, I hope this is a good positive experience for you. We're going to focus on 5 more scriptures today. And again, I challenge you to go back and take a close look at those first 5 that we went over and make sure that you have those down before you move on to the following 5. So we're going to continue. If you can imagine these two Nephites continuing down the hall. They've got their calendar already, and they're going to go into what we call the serving area or the kitchen, right? Now, what happens in the kitchen? Of course, that's where we have, refreshments or whatever, right? And so if you can imagine that these two Nephites are walking in, and they've got that little counter there, and on that counter, they have our refreshments today are going to be 32-ounce big gulps, right? 32-ounce big gulps, and then with a side of a cake that looks like scriptures. Okay, so it's a cake that you can eat, right? So here it is. So 2 Nephi 32. The rhyme is scriptures are a feast to chew. Now 32 is of course because we have the 32-ounce drink. And then scriptures are a feast to chew because you can actually eat these scriptures, right? Scriptures are a feast to chew. So you get your drink and your cake. Now, I realize not every stake center or church has this, but sometimes when you're in that kitchen type area, they actually have a table on the other side and a door that actually opens up into this multi-purpose room. Sometimes that's used for the young women's room or Sunday school, things like that. And so you can actually open up that door. And there is a table. And so, again, it's not the same in every church, but you can actually go under that table. You have to, bend down. And I remember doing that as a little kid. And so you have to, bend over, and you can, crawl through. And so that leads us to our second one. So if you can imagine, you still have your two Nephites, and they've got their cake and their big gulp, and they're going to bend down now. And if you can imagine, as they're bending down, they are now in the shape, they're on their knees, almost as if they're praying. So again, it's the same chapter, 2 Nephi 32. You still got your big gulp. So 2 Nephi 32, you're kneeling down, you're praying. So the rhyme is, a little prayer will get you through, because it's kind of almost as if they are kneeling down. A little prayer will get them through into that next room. So here you go, you got your big gulp, you now go under that table, a little prayer will get you through, and you are greeted on the other side in this multi-purpose room by a king that is actually a servant king. He's actually a servant, but he's wearing a crown. So if you whenever you think of that crown, think of King Mosiah, right? King Mosiah. So now we're done with the second Nephi's. Now we're into Mosiah. So Mosiah has a tray table with 2 drinks on it, 2 goblets, and on that, so this is the chapter, Mosiah chapter 2. And of course, he's serving. So the chapter or the rhyme is, service is for you. When you are in the service of others, you are actually in the service of your God. So Mosiah chapter 2, service is for you. Good. So here we are still in this multi-purpose room. You've got your King Mosiah. And now if you remember, in that multi-purpose room, there are actually 2 doors. You can go in or out. And so that brings our next one, which is Mosiah. It's still in chapter 2. So if you can imagine everything 2. And there's 2 doors to help you to remember that. So you've got your 2 drinks, Mosiah chapter 2. And then you also have 2 doors. So you know that there's going to be 2 scriptures in that room. So Mosiah chapter 2, and this rhyme is, obey and be a happy you. So you can go one direction, and maybe you're going to go serve, be obedient, or you can maybe just stay in that room and not do anything. So it's up to you. So Mosiah chapter 2, obey and be a happy you. Well, of course, you are extremely obedient, so you go out into the hall, and you go directly across the hall, down the hall, and the exact opposite side where the primary room is. Now, if you can imagine opening the door to the primary room, and you only see 3 primary kids there sitting on a chair, and they have crowns on representing King Mosiah. So you know this next one is going to be in Mosiah again, and there's only 3 kids sitting there, so you know it's going to be Mosiah chapter 3. Your rhyme is, like a child we should be, Mosiah chapter 3. All right, guys, you have 10 scriptures down. Now again, I would just invite you to maybe pause this just a second, take a step mentally outside of that building now, and see if you can get all of those 10. Now again, the focus is really on the chapters. I truly believe that once you have the chapters down, the verses will come. And all of you have access on your phone and on your computer and even in your paper scriptures of where those verses are, and hopefully they're marked. So if this will at least help you get to that chapter, my belief is you'll be able to find that verse very quickly from there. And so take it, put it to the test. Let's see how you do.